friends. I wanted to talk a little bit about November reading plans. I will link below the 10 books that I picked for my TBR jar prompts that I would like to read before the end of the year. Those are the ones that I'm going to be kind of focused on, but I have a couple others that I want, like a buddy read and book club. I only know one book club book right now. And then there's a couple of readathons, reading projects that are going on that I also want to mention. So I will link below the 10 through the end books that I want to read. So ideally I would read 5 of those. I tend to read about 10 books a month. However, I am in a pretty significant fatigue flare. And so not sure how much reading. I'm not awake enough to listen to, like alert enough to listen to audiobooks most of the time. And when I am awake and alert, I have to focus on work so I can get work done. Part of life with a chronic illness. We talked about that. The first thing is a buddy read, which I know I own this book. I cannot find it, and I don't have the energy to go all through the house, but I will put a picture here. I am reading Jesus and John Wayne. Don't remember the author. I will, again, put a cover here. I'm going to buddy read that with my friend Maria. That is a nonfiction. Then for my book club that I do, the Patreon book club for Krista at Books and Jams, we're reading Mexikid by Pedro Martin. That is a graphic memoir. So I've requested that from my library. And then there is Historathon that is put on by Lindsay at Lindsay's Little Library, Gloria Z. Thompson, and Lena from Lena's Bookshelf. I will link all their channels below so you can find out about Historathon and the prompts. I typically don't do a lot in Historathon. Historical fiction isn't usually my go-to, but I do enjoy some. So again, the list of the 10 books that I want to read before the end of the year, there's a couple of historical fiction books on there that I plan to read. Okay, and then there's Agatha for Alice that Emily at Novel is doing in honor of Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. If you're watching this before November 2nd, Emily is doing a live show talking about 2 of the Agatha Christie books that she read so far for her Agatha for Alice. She's invited me to join her on that live. So if you're watching this before November 2nd, come join us. For November, they're reading The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, which I have read and loved. It's so far, I feel like it's my favorite Agatha Christie book. I may revisit it. Then Nonfiction November, which is put on by, this is the last year that she's gonna host it, Olive at a Book Olive. The prompts are code, path, join, and shot. And so I actually feel like I could meet all of those prompts with one of the books that I started recently and just haven't finished, or really haven't gotten very far. And that's A Walk in the Woods, Rediscovering America on the Appalachian Trail by Bill Bryson. So for a code, I'm imagining that he goes by the code, the wilderness code of leave nothing behind. And then for path, obviously a trail, a path could be same thing, join. There's so many people that have attempted the Appalachian Trail. So he's joining an elite group of people. You see what I did there? And then for shot, he's taking a shot at this very difficult trek. See how I got all 4 in there in the one book. It's a mass market paperback, and it has big font, which I do love. My copy has 394 books in it. So 94 books in it, pages. You get what I'm saying. Gonna read that one. And then, like I said, I'm gonna be reading Jesus and John Wayne. And then I also would like to read, this is Spectrum Women, Walking to the Beat of Autism. And it's a collection of different essays. And it is edited by Barbara Cook and Dr. Michelle Garnett. Basically, it's, how many do they have? 14 plus the author talking about life as a woman with autism. I work with a lot of people with autism at my job, and I always find their stories very interesting, and I've had this on my shelf for a couple of years, so I'd like to get to that one. So then there's NetGalley November, which Nicole at Dusty Book Sniffers did the announcement video, and in the video she tagged a whole bunch of creators that are also kind of joining her and leading NetGalley November. So I will link her announcement video, and it's basically let's read her NetGalley and get our percentages up, which I am all for. I think I've been approved now for 20 something books, because I just started over my NetGalley account when I started this channel, and I remember how overwhelming it got when the first time I had it years ago. So I intentionally went very small. So I have a whole bunch that I need to read. I've read 2 and reviewed 2. I actually have 2 from the library. One is Craft Stories I Wrote for the Devil by Ananda Lima. And then the other is Daughters of Muscadine by Monique Ductan. Both of these are short stories, and I need to get back into this. I started the first story of Daughters of Muscadine, but honestly, I was too tired. Then we've got 2 books that I got from Book of the Month recently that I have, let's be real, I have a whole, more than half of a shelf like this at the bottom of my bookshelf of Book of the Month books that I would like to read. They're all interesting. I still am interested in all of them. I did get recently Annie Bot by Sierra Greer. Kaitlin at Bandy's Books, she did a great review of this. I did not think I was interested in this. And then Kaitlin did the review, and I was like, maybe I do want to see what I think of this. So it's basically about that Annie Bot was created as a perfect girlfriend for a human owner, destined to satisfy his emotional and physical needs. She has dinner ready for him every night, wears the cute outfits he orders for her, and adjusts her libido to suit his moods. True, she's not the greatest at keeping his place spotless, but she's trying to please him. She's trying hard. She's learning to. He loves her, loves that her AI makes her seem more like a real woman, but the more human Annie becomes, the less perfectly she behaves. And then that goes into their relationship. So I'm really curious about this now that I heard Kaitlin review it. And of course, I got the Sally Rooney intermezzo. I have not read the blurb. I don't want to. I just want to read it and love it. And I'm hoping I'm not setting expectations too high. I've only read one other Sally Rooney. I read Normal People a while ago. And I loved it and also hated it. If you know, you know. I mean, like, it was, I loved the writing and the banter. The angstiness was a little overboard, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm still interested in reading Sally Rooney. All right. So that's kind of my reading plans. They're kind of ambitious for November, especially with how I've been feeling. But again, these are just loose plans. If I don't get to them, okay. I have a couple of books from my 12 and 24 that I need to read, which are the 12 books that I need to read before the end of 2024 in order, or unhaul them, basically. We'll see how if my health allows me to read more. We'll see what I can find on audio, because typically when I'm feeling bad, eventually I'll get to a place where I can listen to audio. Right now, like I said, I fall asleep and have no idea what happened. So, what do you plan to read in November? Let me know in the comments. Are you participating in any of the readathons? I would love to know. Please like, subscribe, comment, all those good things, and I will see you soon. Bye.